Welcome, everybody, to Spotlight 814. I'm your host, Ryan Dolly, and I am in the studio with the one, the only, the 40 under 40, Brenna Thummler.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
And we have our very first two-time guest. And you may remember him from our Ensemble Appreciation Show. We have MCT's Evil Dead playing Scott, right?
Yeah.
It's Mitchell King.
It's me. I'm here again.
It's you. You're here again. I love it. Welcome back, man.
Thanks. You told me that right before we started that I was the first repeat guest, and now that's way more pressure than I want.
No pressure, man.
But
no
I
pressure.
wasn't here that time.
Right,
that's
so
true.
this is the
So
first
it's-
time I'm here.
Yeah, so it's a
Okay.
totally new show.
But it's
Yeah,
way
completely
scarier
different. It's super
now
spooky.
with me here.
It's super spooky.
I've known Brenna too long. It's intimidating.
I am a monster.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So, Mitchell,
Yeah.
how's the show going, man? You guys opened last night.
We opened last night. We've got another show tonight, one more tomorrow, and last night was really good. It's probably the best it's ever run, and I think honestly this is a show where having an audience is a nice shot in the arm to it.
Yes.
But everything just pulled together and ran very smoothly. Like the energy was there. Fantastic cast, fantastic crew. We're going to talk over Ryan opening a bottle.
It's a can.
It's a can. But yeah, it went really well. And, location-wise, it was cold, but...
Yeah, what are they doing? Okay, so tell everybody where it's at.
Okay. So this is in Meadville at the Voodoo Compound, which is on Bessemer Street. So Voodoo has their main location on Arch Street, and then they years ago got a compound area to like host events and things like that. Also has a bar inside. Like there's an indoor space and an outdoor space. And MCT collaborated with Voodoo, and we are having Evil Dead at the compound so that we can have a splash zone and really like build up the blood effects and the spraying audience with
blood.
Because it's Evil Dead.
Yeah. So Evil Dead.
Is it real blood?
Sure, it's whatever you want it to be. No, it's no
It can
tears.
be.
It's No Tears baby shampoo, dyed red
Adorable.
by our wonderful assistant director / stage manager / kind of everything, Amaya Andrews.
Aw,
Cool.
that's cool.
So what if it rains?
So that's a very real possibility for
Tonight, yeah.
Because it's going to rain all day. So the space itself, the stage is completely covered, and then there is, for like a carport kind of thing, because you can park cars where we're having the audience seated. That is also covered. So I don't know if we'll have a splash zone tonight, just because the splash zone would be the only place that isn't covered, but we can move the seats back. So there is coverage. Or you can wear a raincoat or a poncho and get a little rained on. But
All right.
I don't know what the plan is, but I assume it would be we will move the seats back in case of rain. But
Yeah.
we are prepared for any weather.
Now, how about like the cold? How are people dealing with that?
So blankets, hoodies, like bundle up. There's honestly not much we can do about
Right,
that
right.
otherwise. But
You can't change the weather?
I
I'm
ca-
sorry.
I-
What?
Get out.
I'm sorry. It's been lovely. Happy to be this for the first repeat guest. I'm leaving now.
If you can't change the weather, you can get out of my studio.
No, I mean, it's outdoors in October in Northwest Pennsylvania, and it was like right before this week when we opened. The weather was great.
It was beautiful,
so
yeah.
warm.
Yeah.
And then we hit Sunday of Tech Week, and it was the coldest it's been all year. And it's like, well, I guess we're doing this.
Like we went from end of summer to like end of fall.
Yeah, there's no
Like,
actual
immediately.
fall anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the leaves changed like that, and now we're going right into winter.
Yep.
Okay, but the residents of Meadville should be well prepared for inclement weather by now. Like,
yeah.
You would think.
I mean, yeah, but they're not. They're
No.
gonna show up in like hoodies and shorts.
this
That
is
was my
yes.
that was my brother's
The Cleveland tuxedo.
Yeah, my brother's attire in high school was always hoodie and shorts, and it
Yeah.
got to the point where my mom just gave up on being like, put some pants on.
Yeah. It's called the Cleveland tuxedo.
Wonderful. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. So Mitchell, we can't wait to see the show. We're going to see it next week.
Wonderful.
As some of you know, I was a part of the show for one rehearsal.
Exactly one. And
Exactly
what a
one.
rehearsal.
It was. I'm really sad I couldn't do it, but I'm really looking forward to seeing it. And we have some good friends in the show.
Yeah.
Who all's in the show? Tell us about it.
So we have a really good cast. We have Dan Winston is playing Ash, who is the most well-known character from Evil Dead. Like, Evil Dead's kind of built around, originally played by Bruce Campbell, but
Yes.
Ash, the character with the chainsaw and all that fun stuff. Dan is doing a fantastic job as Ash. Rena Rubleski is playing Linda, who's Ash's girlfriend. Alicia Greathouse is playing Cheryl, Ash's sister. I'm playing Scott, who is Ash's best friend.
That stupid bitch guy.
That stupid bitch. I say the audience is not on my side, by the way. People
No?
do not enjoy me calling Cheryl a stupid bitch 3 times. I got laughs on the first one, and then the second one, I heard people go, I was like, all right.
Nope, don't do it.
My character sucks, and I've been told that, and I'm like, yeah, that's the point. He's got big frat boy, high school bully energy. I'm channeling a lot of people I knew in high school into this part, and apparently playing it very well.
There's a lot of inspiration there.
There's so much inspiration. I could name names, but I won't.
Yeah.
Allow me.
And then
So you two did go to high school together, right?
we did
Yeah,
go to
we
high school
did.
together. Brenna was a year below me. And then Meadow Campbell is playing
Meadow.
Shelley, who is... Meadow's doing so great. Like, she's playing the part so well. She's the drunk chick that Scott picked up in a bar, and he's literally just brought her along on this
Meadow?
cabin retreat.
No.
Specifically to bang her. Like, that's the entire reason she's there.
I hear this show features her features.
Yeah, Meadow's assets are prominently displayed
Yes.
and on show. Poor Meadow is probably the coldest person in the entire
bet.
show.
I
Like,
bet.
off stage, immediately wrapped in a blanket because she is wearing the least amount of clothing.
Yeah.
And then, so those are all the people that I interact with the most. And then we also have Glenn Tuttle playing Jake, who is the guy in every horror movie who, like, knows everything. Like, the weird older guy who's like, don't go to that cabin, it's dangerous out there.
But then they all go to the cabin.
They all go to the
anyway.
cabin.
Yeah.
Dave Neal is playing Professor Nobi, who is the guy who discovered the Necronomicon and unleashed the Kandarian demons. Adam Ludi is playing Ed, who is Professor Nobi's assistant and the fiance to Annie, who is Professor Nobi's daughter, played by Mary Beth McCarthy. And then we also have our wonderful stagehand / Linda's body / manager at the end of the show, Melissa Blevins, who is kind of like does everything to help out Amaya backstage.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Oh, and we also have Lauren Hale and Zara McClymans as Deadites, who are Deadites through the whole show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, you got to have that. Well, that's awesome, man.
Have you seen the films that this was based on?
Yeah, so I've seen the original trilogy, and I have seen Evil Dead Rise, which is the most recent film.
Right. Yeah, is the trilogy the Evil Dead 2, and then Army of Darkness?
Yes.
Okay.
And I know Dan Winston just had a watch party for all 3 of them recently.
Honestly, the first time I saw all 3 was at another watch party that Dan had hosted for Halloween a couple years ago.
Okay.
And they're good movies. The original one was made on, like, no budget. It was,
Right.
I believe it was Sam Raimi's first film or one of his first films. And, like, the car they drive in that movie is just Sam Raimi's car.
Yeah, yeah.
And Bruce Campbell was his friend, and now because that kicked off, like, both of their careers, Bruce Campbell is in every Sam Raimi movie, and at least a cameo, so he pops up in all the Spider-Man movies.
Right, yeah.
He's in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Like, Bruce Campbell, because he did Evil Dead, is now guaranteed a paycheck on every Sam Raimi film.
That's pretty
Yeah.
nice.
And then
Good for him.
Yeah, Evil Dead 2 is basically the first 5 minutes is the plot of Evil Dead 1, and then the movie Sam Raimi wanted to make if he had a budget for Evil Dead.
Right, right.
And then Army of Darkness, they just go full kicked off. Ash gets sent back to medieval times and fights a literal army of Deadites.
Nice.
It's such
Buck
a ridiculous Such a ridiculous concept.
So the musical also started with like a very low budget because it was August 2003 when it debuted, and it debuted in a small bar in Toronto called the Transact Club, and so that's where it began. It's a small bar in Canada.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
It's got that fun, like, campy element.
Oh, it's super campy.
Yeah, it very much feels like it started in a small bar, but the music's really good. Like, not a lot. Let's face it, Scotty has not aged well in 20 years.
No,
since
he
it
really hasn't.
premiered. But I feel like that's the point of the character.
Yeah.
If it helps you, this isn't a spoiler because they all die, but I do die. So if you want to watch a piece of shit character die, that's great.
You die several times, too.
I die so many times.
Wait, what? I don't. You know what? I don't even. You can just not explain that.
You make it a drinking game, and you do a shot every time Scott dies.
There was a friend of mine I was posting about this show, and he commented, because I made a joke about, come see how many times I die, and he like took a guess. He's like 6, and I counted. I'm like, it's actually more. I die more than 6 times in this show.
Do you really?
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
I found a cool fact.
Yes.
So when it was at the Transact Club in Toronto, it was playing during the Northeast blackout of 2003. And so they had to do this show in the middle of that blackout. They continued doing it. So they did it on the lawn of this bar.
Nice.
And they used all acoustic instruments for
Cool.
that set. They had the cast and making all the sound effects.
Nice.
And
That makes sense.
They
Yeah.
used flashlights and headlights from cars for the lighting.
That's pretty awesome.
That would have been so
That
cool
would
to
have
see.
been.
Yeah.
Theater people are so innovative and
Yeah.
like under pressure,
Yeah, that's insane.
and that it adds to the campiness. Like we do have like effects and blood effects and all that, but it's the simplest thing. Like we were trying to figure out how to do it, and then Jeff Hall, our director, he was like coming up with all these ideas, and then Dan and Rena went to go see it in Pittsburgh because they perform it, I think, every year or every other year.
Pittsburgh
in
Musical
Pittsburgh.
Theater. Yeah,
Yes.
they did it last year, too. Yeah.
Wonderful. Nick Mitchell, I think, is the
He
one
is.
who does that. Very talented. They had a great time at the show. They saw, and they're like, they just use like ketchup bottles, like squirt bottles, and that was their blood. Like they would spray blood using the squirt, like those bottles, and they're like, it looked good, and we're like, oh yeah. So we got those, and we literally just like squeeze them whenever the Deadites get stabbed or there's a blood effect needed, and we just spray it over the audience. And 2 of our friends, Maddie Morgan, who was on the Ensemble Appreciation episode as
She
well,
was.
shout out, and Kiara Zambinski, they came to see it last night, and they're like, we couldn't even like see the bottles half the time because it's just so quick that we like you notice them, but it's also fast that it's just happening.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
It works. It's great, and it's fully camp.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You lean into it.
You do. That it's cool because like when I had you on for the Ensemble Appreciation Show, like I hadn't seen you like perform in a lead role or anything close to it. So I mean, you were homeless daddy.
I was
to me.
homeless daddy, just rounding up all. I was very bearded then too. I was
You were.
shaved.
Yeah, you're fresh baby faced.
Fresh baby faced.
You're still Ralphie to me.
Body.
I will.
Scotty.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fun connection.
Yeah.
The first community theater show I ever did was coming up on 20 years ago now, and it was A Christmas Story at the Academy Theater, directed by Jeff Hall as well. And Brenna's dad, Brian, played older Ralphie, and I was young Ralphie.
So I was your daughter.
You were my future daughter. I feel like I always made the joke. I'm like, I want to like age into Brian. Like that's a great goal to set. Your dad also designed our moose head, which is
Yes,
used in
for
the
Evil
show.
Dead.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a spoiler alert. It is a puppet that
Your dad's
comes
gonna
to
love
life.
this episode.
Yeah,
Your dad-
shout out to Brian.
Brian, he loves it when we talk about him.
He does.
So-
He always brings it up to me.
He'll be like, Mitch mentioned me. Mitch gave me the shout out.
Be like, what did Mitch say about me?
And he'll already know.
Yeah.
That I love him so much. I do. I love your dad.
He's awesome. He is awesome.
But yeah, so that's
Shout out to
my fun
Brenna's mom
connection.
too.
Shout out to the whole Thummler clan, the whole Thummler family, all talented.
Yeah. Oh man. So, what else? Do you have anything else for Evil Dead, Brenna?
Yeah.
Not so much. It was off Broadway in New York, and then it actually went back to Toronto, and it played over 300 consecutive performances, which was the longest running Canadian show in over 2 decades.
Okay.
So it was a pretty big deal in Canada.
Good job, Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, Canada. Nice.
And that's the facts.
That's pretty sweet.
Those are good facts.
Yeah, we're going to get back to Evil Dead before we wrap up the episode. But before we take a break, we're going to talk a little bit about Young Frankenstein at the Academy Theater,
Right.
which Brenna and I saw last week. And, yeah, go ahead.
Our friends in that show did great.
Yes.
They
agreed.
were phenomenal. We laughed a lot.
We did.
We were discussing how to talk about this.
Yeah.
It was a little chaotic,
Yes. Yes,
the
it was.
show.
Choreography specifically.
I felt so bad for the cast a lot of the times because it felt like they didn't really know what they were all supposed to be doing. And it wasn't their fault.
Right. But we did laugh a lot.
We were. And I was saying to Ryan, like, this is the show that's allowed to be a little chaotic.
It is, yeah, for sure.
It's Young Frankenstein.
Yeah. Duncan was fantastic.
Oh my gosh, yeah. He plays such a great, like, aloof but also psychotic character. He flipped back and forth between them so well.
Yeah. Linda Kemp, love her.
Oh yeah.
Love her to death.
But the star of the show though, Chris Peterson.
Chris Peterson,
as
absolutely.
the monster.
He stole the show. 1,000%.
He really did.
And
all he does is grunt
Yeah.
the entire time,
Yeah.
and that's all we needed.
his facial expressions, his body language, his physical comedy,
His energy,
in general.
yeah.
So good.
I'm
Phenomenal.
sad I didn't get. I had something going on. Like, I'm a very busy person, unfortunately, so I didn't get to see it last weekend. So I'm disappointed in that. But I'm glad to hear that it also did well and that people enjoyed it. I mean, very talented cast.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
group of people.
No, Jason's great as Igor.
Yeah, he's so funny. He
yeah.
plays a really great Igor.
Yeah, I mean, Robbie. I gotta bring up Robbie.
Robbie steals every shot. Besides Chris Peterson.
Like when he is on stage, he's always doing something that cracks us up.
Yeah.
And like it's just
He's
it's
just so naturally
good.
funny.
He is. And I can't wait till he starts getting bigger parts
I know.
because
It's
it's only a matter
Yeah.
of time. And I want to see Robbie shine
Right.
because we see him shine in the ensemble all the time.
Which
So-
you need that. Like
You do.
it's good
Yeah.
that he brings so much energy to the ensemble.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, it's like we talked about in the Ensemble Appreciation episode. Like,
Yeah.
it's undersung, but it matters so much.
Oh
and
my God, yeah.
Robbie's only been doing this for like what, a couple
2
years
years,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that he's made like this much, like he's improved this much as a performer already. It's only a matter of time before he starts getting like lead roles.
Yeah, I very soon.
And you can just tell that he loves it so much, and
Yeah.
that's what matters the most. Is he's so passionate about it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he's having a good time.
You know, and that's what community theater is all about.
Yeah.
You know, you learn, you have fun, and you get better, and you get better and better and better every time you do it, and it leads to bigger things.
Yeah, I mean,
know?
that's why I do it. Like, it's that sense. It's in the name, but you know, it's that sense of community. It's doing it with other people, like-minded people,
Yeah.
having fun. Professional, obviously, but to an extent, like we're all volunteers. We're all just having fun doing this.
Right.
So it's that sense of it that I love.
Yeah, for sure. You have some facts on
I have some facts in Young Frankenstein. I'll say, well, first of all, this is obviously Mel Brooks, and I feel like most of you probably know the film by Mel Brooks by now. He decided to do this after the success of The Producers, when that was turned into the musical. He's like, let me do this again. And he actually did the book and the lyrics, the music, which I didn't know. That's really impressive. Good job, Mel.
Way to go. Way to go, Mel.
What a talented man.
The original movie was from the 70s, but the musical was in the 2000s. It previewed in New York in 2007. A couple fun facts I have about the movie. The studio executives tried to trick Mel Brooks into doing this in color. They really did not want it to be in black and white because it was pretty much out of touch by then to do it in black and white. So they were like, we'll do it in black and white as long as we can do it on color stock. Something about Peru, like having just gotten color. So they're like, we'll do this for Peru. And then Mel's like, No, if you do that, you're just going to turn it into color for everybody.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you're not doing this in color stock. So eventually they agreed to do it in black and white.
I'm so glad they did because like it just wouldn't be the same in color.
Yeah, he said he wanted to capture the original,
Yeah.
like Universal Frankenstein.
Right.
That was the whole point.
Mel Brooks has like a history of doing that because he produced The Elephant Man.
Yeah.
Like he didn't direct it, and I don't think he attached his name because he didn't want people to think it was a comedy. But I believe, and this might just be anecdotal, that like he went and showed like the studio executives the movie, and they were like giving him notes, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm not presenting this for you to give you notes. I'm giving you an update. That's all. Like I don't need your notes. That's not what we're doing with this movie."
That's awesome.
And then the other fun fact I found was that Gene Wilder, who played Frankenstein, he made Brooks agree to stay off camera for this movie, even though Brooks usually makes cameos
Yeah.
in all of his films. But Mel Brooks did voice the distant wolf cry in the hayride scene.
Nice.
So,
That's great.
yeah.
Werewolves.
There, wolves,
Why are you
there,
talking like
castle.
that? I thought you wanted me to.
Well, I don't. All right, I'm easy.
God, I love that.
What a quotable movie
It
and
really
show. It's just so good.
Yeah. So, I mean, do yourselves a favor. If you want to have a good time and laugh, go see it. Go see Young Frankenstein at the Academy Theater.
It's great for this time of year.
Yeah.
It's
It's a perfect October show.
Go
It
get
is.
spooky.
It is. And, we love our friends that are on stage out there and, backstage and on the lights and all that stuff. Like, they're all
for sure.
they're
Yeah.
all doing their thing out there and having a good time.
Yep.
So we're going to take a very short break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit about last night's 40 Under 40 event,
Ooh.
which features some of our local theater community. And we're also going to talk about the Erie Readers Best of 2023.
Which also features some theater people.
And
And us.
What? Wild.
So we're going to be right back. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Did you miss us?
No.
It's only
Oh.
been like 1 second.
Yeah. I mean, all they have to hear is that do 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 do. And
That's enough to miss somebody.
It is. It is. I missed you, Mitchell.
I missed you. I missed
I
missed
didn't miss
this.
you guys.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. That's also fair.
To be fair, we sat here and talked the whole time. We didn't actually take a break. We just talked, and it was like 10 minutes of that.
I feel like
So-
that was my fault.
No, it's
Oh
fine.
no, that's what we do every time.
We
We don't.
do.
Act, we never actually take
Oh,
a break.
thank God.
No, no, no.
I'm not the problem.
You're no, I'm the problem. It's me.
Hi.
Hi. Hey.
Shout out to Taylor Swift. She's got a movie out of her
We-
concert.
I know.
We need to go see that.
And she's estimated to make like $10 billion from it.
Jesus.
Sure.
Queen.
Let's all just like take a moment to think about that.
I just did, and now I'm depressed.
I don't know how that even. I don't know. That's a lot that exists in the world.
That's
much
a lot
money.
of pressure on one human being.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure on me to make like
Anything of my
$1,000
life.
next week.
Yeah. You're making money?
People pay you? Yeah. So last night we had a great time. Brenna and I went to the Erie Readers 40 Under 40 event.
Experience.
The
The
experience.
40 under 40 experience.
It was an experience too. It was pretty
is.
dope.
it
So
was
of
awesome.
course Brenna was on the list of the 40 Under 40 this year.
Yay.
In my opinion, she's number one.
Yay.
thank you.
Number one out of the 40.
That is accurate.
I know. I had a couple of colleagues of mine at WQLN, Tom Fox Davies and Vlad. I don't know his last name. I just call him Vlad. But we love
It's
him.
like Cher.
Yeah.
Just Vlad.
Mono named.
Vlad.
Who's a delight. Like, let me just give Vlad a shout out.
Yeah.
Vlad is great.
Tom, too. We had a great time
Yeah.
last night. It was so much fun.
There was a silent disco portion where we just all danced for an hour.
Yes.
Over an hour.
Yeah. So we had some names in our theater community. Outside of Brenna, we had
Will Stedman,
Will Stedman, who is the new director out in
General McLean.
General. What is happening out there?
Somebody singing. And then Jassy.
Yep.
Camacho Vera.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had a great time dancing with him on the dance floor last night.
Oh my gosh,
He was getting down.
Jassy is a delight, an absolute delight.
Yeah.
I think those were the theater people.
I think-
Maeve Kirby.
Maeve
Kirby,
Maeve
yeah.
is on there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can see her on stage pretty much everywhere. So,
Yeah.
it was a great night of celebration. Free tattoos, I think.
We did not get
What?
tattoos.
I almost did. I was so close.
I want
Next year.
free tattoo.
Next year.
How do I become a 40 under 40?
Are you under 40?
I think
Yeah.
you have to live in Erie.
That's out of the question.
Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm gonna need you to be quiet out there.
There's a lot happening.
The guy just held up his hand like he's going to do something, maybe, or maybe he's just like, too bad. Is that a too bad hand raise?
I feel like it was a too bad hand raise. Yeah, it definitely was a too bad hand raise. It's getting louder. Hold up. We're gonna be right back, everybody.
Do-do-do-do.
Okay, we're back again.
Woo! Second
so-
break.
So the choir in there, you're probably gonna hear the choir no matter what.
It's fine.
Because they don't care about us.
We talk about musical theater. It's fine. It's live musical theater right here on the show.
Yeah.
That's
right,
It's
that's
a
right.
nice soundtrack to our discussion of theater.
Yeah, it was just, unexpected and quite loud.
A little distracting.
Yes. So we talked about, oh my God, you guys. So we talked about the 40 under 40. That was a great time. Silent disco.
Amazing.
Man, the pictures.
The photo booth, you
The
mean?
photo booth. We had a great time in the photo booth.
There was a lot happening.
Help me out here. Help me out here.
I just don't know that people want to hear about all the options that were at the event that they weren't at.
I want to hear about them. I wasn't at this event.
Hey, listen.
This is for me. Everyone else can.
Listen, like if you want to be on the event at the event next year, do something cool.
Well,
In
actually,
Erie.
it's open to everybody.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
yeah, it's like anyone can just buy a ticket and go.
Right.
Well, dang. All right.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, it's just like a fun little party with food and dancing and music, like live music from local musicians
And 40 impressive people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you have
totally.
a pin on, look out for the people with the pins. They're impressive.
Yeah. Watch out.
I was just a +1. I'm a mere +1.
40 impressive people and then hundreds of losers.
I will happily be a paying loser next year.
I was a paying loser this year.
I know my lane. I know what
Yeah.
I know what I'm about. Hi, I'm Mitchell King, paying loser.
I had a great time as a paying loser. I'm not gonna lie. So.
Sometimes you got to be humbled a little bit to enjoy a nice event.
You do.
Well, I'm going to be a paying loser next year. So you only get like 1 year of winning and then you become you're
And
right
then
back
you're
to being a loser.
again. You get your 1 year of being impressive, and then you're back to the masses, the unwatched masses.
But you get to wear a pin every year that says "I was once not a loser."
That's
like you.
true. I'll just wear my pin next year.
I was once like you.
I was once impressive.
I used to be one of the beautiful people.
Yeah. So, speaking of Erie Reader, they also released their nominees for the Best of Erie 2023.
Heyo.
You can vote for us.
for best podcast.
Spotlight 814.
And all you have to do is type in your email address
Yeah.
in order to vote. And you can literally just vote for one category. Like you don't have to go through and vote for everybody.
Right.
I have an email address. I'm going to do that.
Great.
You should do it.
Yeah. Go vote for us.
And, you can vote for your favorite theatrical performer in Erie. There are so many great ones to choose from.
Ryan's on the list.
I am on the list, but you don't have to
Ooh.
vote for me. Like, pick your favorite.
It's a long list of
It's-
people to
and
choose from.
It's a very good, talented list, too. So check it out.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see some guests that we've had and stuff like that on there, and guests that we will have in the future.
For sure.
Yeah, so do that. You can vote for our friends and sponsors.
Warner Books for 6 categories.
Yeah.
Wow.
They were nominated for 6 different categories. It's best overall business, which
Yeah.
I nominated them for.
Me too.
And then best bookstore, best place for a first date, best entrepreneurs in Kyle Sherman and Lauren Shoemaker, best local prom? No. Best coffee shop,
Best coffee shop, yeah.
bookstore, business, coffee shop, first date, entrepreneurs, and
Is that it? I feel like that was
best new business,
Best new
right? Best
business,
new
yeah.
business within the last 2 years.
Yeah, because
Dang.
the coffee shop and it's. I mean, they're blowing up over there. They're doing great
I was
things.
gonna say you guys are real. I don't think I've heard of them, but now I don't come into Erie all that often.
Yeah.
But now Warner Books. Okay.
Yes,
books,
it's
they're
going
great.
to be the premier bookstore in Erie. Make it happen for
That's
them.
right.
Heck
That's
yeah.
Right. So, yeah. That's all I got on that.
Yeah.
Go
Not
vote
much
for
say.
all these
Oh,
cool
wait.
places.
Vote for Brenna too.
Yeah.
She's on there for best visual artist.
Yep.
And
Brenna, how much do you love self-promotion as an artist?
At an absolute zero over here.
and that's why I did it, not you.
Excellent. I'll jump on that bandwagon. Brenna, super talented. Vote
Yeah,
for her.
I am voting for her.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Okay, so something happened in London last week that really grinds my gears.
Let's hear it,
All right.
because I don't know what this is.
So, 5 people have been arrested and charged with aggravated trespass after a Les Mis performance at the Sondheim Theatre in central London was disrupted by Just Stop Oil protesters. They got up on the stage, held up their flags, and started chanting Just Stop Oil and stuff like that. And listen, I'm all for like climate activists and stuff.
But
But,
don't
like-
disrupt art.
Yeah, so many people have paid good money to be in those seats.
Yeah.
And those performers are working their asses off. And if you are up in front of me while I'm performing, I'm going to kick your ass down.
I get that you have to make a statement and like it's not going to work if you're protesting in some place it doesn't matter, you
Right.
know? But you have like what good's it going to do to make people mad?
Yeah. I mean, I just don't feel like they know how to protest properly because they're like destroying artwork in some
Yeah,
points.
like famous
Like,
artwork.
Yeah, it's
Well,
such
I
bullshit.
know at least because I assume it's the same group or a similar group to the ones that were like throwing soup on Van Gogh paintings.
Yeah.
But they those are like covered in glass, like they are protected. So it was or like throwing paint on it. So thankfully, like the art wasn't ruined. But
Well, sometimes they aren't covered.
sometimes
not,
they
yeah.
aren't covered. You're right.
I think because I was in the Musée d'Orsay this summer, and I don't think there was no glass. It was
There
all
was-
just the exposed canvas.
Yeah, there was no
Oh.
glass in the Louvre.
Well, then I stand corrected. Yeah, you're making a statement, but you're not making it like you need to. Like, I'm all for disruption and protest should not be comfortable, but
Right.
like, especially in theater, like those are working actors and they're not like, unless you're a super big name, you're not making like crazy bank as an actor
Right.
on any stage, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you're either volunteering like us in community theater or you're getting paid enough to survive, kind of, or you become like a Josh Gad or an Andrew Rannells and you are
In Frozen.
in Frozen or in Book of Mormon or like the lead in like super big
Yeah,
shows or you're Idina Menzel's and people like that. But the majority of people are just working and they're just trying to earn a paycheck.
Right.
And probably not spending a ton of money destroying the planet.
Yeah.
They're just
Yeah.
trying to get by.
We're all doing our best. We're all reliant on things that were forced on us generations ago.
Yeah. So I'm that would make me so mad if I was on stage.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad that they're so willing to destroy art
Yeah. Like
and the hard work
you can
of people.
protest. That's cool.
Even
You know,
like protesting outside of the, or like if you're gonna be disruptive in the lobby, be disruptive
Right.
outside the theater, but to like
Yeah.
literally get on stage.
During One Day More. Or what was it? It was Do You Hear the People Sing is when they got up there.
So like very well planned to be
Yeah.
that. I just,
And you said the show had to be canceled after
They
that,
canceled
right?
the show.
Yeah.
yeah, of course. Because how do you recover from that?
Yeah. So not
But
a
then it's
fan.
like what? So the theater, is it their job to change the planet now? It's like
I know, yeah.
what are they expecting from the people who run this theater? It's not their job to save the world.
No, I think it's just a location. They're just trying to get attention.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter with the theater.
But the problem is it's like negative attention. Like people are just going to be mad at these people, mad at the activist. And what good's that going to do?
That's their thing. Like they do things to piss people off. Like they do it at NBA games, like run onto the court and stuff like that, and then security just tackles them.
That would be more fun for me to watch than an NBA game.
It is kind of fun to watch when they do that because the security like does not care about their well-being whatsoever. They will tackle them straight into the ground, and it is fantastic to watch. It's very violent. I like it.
Yeah, I'm not as well versed on protest theory, if that's even a thing. But like a successful protest, and again, I'm relatively privileged when it comes to this, but there is like better ways to do protests.
Yeah, a lot better.
I just like protest the people who are the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't show up to a theater full of empaths who probably mostly care about the environment.
Right.
This is specifically shock value, and it's for the attention and not for the actual cause. Is what it feels like.
Exactly. Well, that's what happened in London.
Yeah.
Just made me mad. I saw that and I was like,
That's a really sad note to end on. Can we end on something happier?
We can. What's on 814?
Oh, that's right.
Yay, happy things.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much everything is the same, right? Like, do I not have my little order here? I no longer have my order.
Oh my God.
I know.
What happened,
I think I
Brenna?
put it. I think I have it on somewhere else in my. I don't think this is the updated one.
I can
I've
give
been.
you a couple seconds.
Let's vamp.
Yeah.
Can I? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Vamp a little bit.
I can cut things.
So Ryan, how about that weather up here in Erie today?
Oh, it's pretty cold and rainy.
Oh, so it's Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
It's Erie, Pennsylvania.
Well, Brenna and I are going to the Cleveland Browns game tomorrow.
Ooh.
And it's going to be very cold and rainy.
Yeah.
And they're going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it?
I
You
got
good?
it. I
All
got
right.
the official order thing. Okay.
Good
All right.
vamping.
We did it.
Yes.
I'm so good at vamping.
Okay. So, as far as what's on right now, you can still go see Young Frankenstein at the Academy. It's running to October 22nd. As we've been talking about, Evil Dead is running at the Voodoo Compound in Meadville until the 22nd. That opened last night. And then Cat and the... What day is today? What day is today?
The 14th.
Yeah.
Because we opened Friday the 13th, and that's
Yes.
how I know what day it is.
Right. Yes. So you can no longer see the Cat and the Canary because that closes to tomorrow.
Yeah.
But this won't be out tomorrow. So
It might be.
In
I'm
retro-
going to try to get it out tonight because we're not going to be around tomorrow.
that's true. But they'll have like maybe an hour
Yeah.
to go see it still. So you can maybe catch Cat and Canary
Maybe.
Do your best.
on the 15th at All Enact. What is next? At the Playhouse in Erie, Misery is running till October 29th.
Ah, Misery. So you were in Misery.
Yeah.
I was in Misery
Tell us a
this
little bit
time
about
last year.
Misery.
So I played Paul Sheldon, who's the author that gets kidnapped by Annie Wilkes,
And Matthew Fuchs is playing that
Okay,
role
cool.
at the Playhouse. Sorry.
It was simultaneously the most physical and the least physical acting I've ever done, because Paul Sheldon's in a bed for the majority of the show, but when he's not, he's dragging himself across. Like, I literally dragged myself across the stage from one end of the stage to the other. I got myself into and out of a wheelchair, maneuvering around in a wheelchair, and then the fight scene at the end when Paul Sheldon finally confronts Annie there's a physical fight.
Yeah.
All of that fight choreography, and when I wasn't doing that, I was lying in a bed with limited mobility.
Right.
And it's named Misery, but it's a miserable show. It was a good show. It was very well done. It's one of my proudest acting achievements. But it was a cast of 3, and then we had Katie, our director, fantastic, and her fiance, Christopher Seeley, did all of our our props and things like that.
Right.
And
Also
they're
a great human being.
Yeah, wonderful. They're both amazing people.
Yeah.
But everyone was like, "Oh man, I wish because we did it 2 weekends," and they were like, "I wish we could do one more weekend." And I was like, "I'm good at 2."
I'm good.
And I felt bad, but I was like, "It's all acting." But I had to physically drag myself across the stage. I was getting yelled at right in my face. And
So the show, it's about an author who is kidnapped.
yes,
Based on the Stephen King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she wants him to finish the book.
Finish
the series.
He has just finished up the series that he's most famous for, and he has killed off the main character. The character's name is Misery. That is what her name is. And in the last book, he has killed Misery, and the book has just been published, and Annie Wilkes is his #1 fan, and she finds out that he killed Misery after he gets into a car accident, and she saves him, and he is moving on from this series. He doesn't want anything else to do with it, which, as an artist, makes sense.
Yeah.
But she does not want to let Misery die, so she basically forces him to... She burns his new book, like the new manuscript he just finished, and then forces him to write a new story, bringing Misery back to life. And it's a very cerebral game of he is trying to appease her while also escaping her. And it's very tense. It's a wonderful show. And William Golding, who wrote the screenplay for the movie, the Rob Reiner movie, also wrote the stage adaptation. So it's very close to the movie. But wonderful show. And I can't imagine it'll be anything less than great up here in Erie.
Yeah,
so
Matt Fuchs,
go see it.
Matt Fuchs is playing the lead role in that one, and he's incredible.
Yeah,
so.
it's a great showcase for acting for the actors playing Annie and for the actor playing Paul. So if you get a chance to see it, it's a show that you should see at least once in your life.
That sounds great. Also, Misery is a great name for a girl.
It really is.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to name my daughter Misery.
Yeah, the new book he writes is actually called Misery's Child, and that's how he kind of baits Annie to be like, and Misery's gonna have a child when I bring her back to life. And he's like, I bought myself some time, but I need to get out of here.
Yeah,
but it's so good. It's a great show.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
All right, well, that is running until October 29th at the Erie Playhouse, so you guys still have some time to go see that. As we mentioned last week, on the last episode, Canterbury Feast is happening at the Station Dinner Theater here in Erie until November 18th. I think, didn't Molly say that until the 22nd is when the cast 1 is going?
Yeah.
So till the 22nd, you have time to see the first cast, and they're switching to the second cast
So
starting
that'll be
then.
Molly in that cast, and then AJ, who was also here for the last episode, is in both casts.
Yes.
So you can see him anytime.
All right, so that is happening until November 18th, and then you still have time to see The Little Mermaid at Cathedral Prep if you want to see some good high school theater. At Drama Shop, The Convent is opening November 3rd and runs through November 19th.
Can't wait for that one.
No, I'm very excited to see that. That is starring our friends Anna McJunkin and Alicia Oliver. And General McLean, our friend Will Stedman, who was one of the 40 Under 40, he's been directing Guys and Dolls at General McLean, and that is November 9th through the 12th. And then finally at Mercyhurst, they're doing Cinderella from November 16th through the 19th.
Yep. And if you have a high school show that you want us to push, it's that time of year. And you guys don't have budgets to be like, hey, come see our show.
Yeah.
So we will be happy to shout it out for you.
Yeah,
And
I kind of came across these by chance, and I think I saw a billboard about Cathedral Prep while driving one day. So
Prep and Mercyhurst and stuff, those guys have budgets.
Yeah.
But we don't often see what's happening at certain high schools. So
I don't even know what. Okay, I went to Seneca High School, and I used to drive by the school almost every day. And I don't have any idea what shows they've ever done since I left.
Yeah, it's weird. You leave school. I don't know what Meadville's doing.
Do they still have people doing theater?
I think they
there?
do still have a theater department. I don't know who's running it anymore, but I know they still do shows. I just don't know what they do.
Yeah, we would love to know.
Yeah, so give us reach out and let us know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Did you know if Striking 12 has announced the cast or anything yet?
They have not yet. Not that I've seen.
Yeah, so PACA just had auditions for Striking 12. I don't know when that's happening. I just written down the audition dates.
Give me one moment and I can find out.
Vamp. Brenna.
Yeah.
Do any good art lately?
No, I've never done good art.
Oh. I can't vamp with no yes anding. I'm only good at improv if I'm with a partner.
Yes, I've done
good
art.
I've
done art.
Some good art lately. Well, you had a book come out. I'm sure you've talked about it, but you're
Yeah.
a third.
Yeah, my third in the series came out a few weeks ago. I'm working on a new one right now that's not coming out till 2026.
Ooh.
So we still got a while.
Striking 12,
There we go.
December 8th
December 8th. Cool.
to the 23rd.
Cool.
Okay, awesome. There we go.
Good vamping, guys.
Thank you. I'm sweating.
Oh.
It's the pressure of the first repeat guest. I gotta really earn my keep here.
I mean, hey, we're going to have our own podcast here pretty soon.
That's true. That's Brenna wants nothing to do with
Mitchell
this.
and I are doing a Game of Thrones rewatch.
Kind of like a retrospective even, but
Yeah.
rewatching the entire series, knowing how it's going to end.
Yeah, it's going to be called Game of Groans.
And yeah, just like a live watch is I think the premise we're going with.
Yeah.
And just
So you'll hear our live reactions of things.
And I told them that I would supply the groans.
yeah, perfect. I mean, it's gonna start out so good and then it's going to reach a peak and then it will never be as good again. And it's just going to be like us sighing a lot, I think.
We're going to be
near
really
the
angry
end.
by the end of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and just going on rants about like they ruined this character. This character deserved better.
Yeah. And we'll have guests. You know, we have a lot of friends that really enjoyed the show.
Expressing interest. Friends
Yes.
who've never even seen the show, but they're like, I want to come and watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, yeah. So it'd be good to have that perspective of the first-time viewer as
Yeah.
well, you know?
And Brenna,
Why are you looking at me?
Come watch the show with us, Brenna.
watch the pilot with us.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
You can be our very first guest and
You can.
watch. And a bunch of people who all look the same, but all have different names, but kind of really similar names.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
It's much easier to tell them apart when they start dying, because then there's less people to keep track of.
True story.
So many people in that show started dying, and I'm like, thank God, one less name to remember.
What we could do is have my dad watch it and then ask him to name all the characters, because
my
that would be
God.
hilarious. He would not know, and they would be funny names. I guarantee it.
That would be great supplemental content.
It would be.
Wonderful.
Yes, I like it. So that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Tell us one more time where we can find Evil Dead and where we can find you specifically on social media, and if you
Yeah.
want people to find you.
Yeah, sure. So Evil Dead will be running, depending on when this episode comes out, at least next weekend, October 20th through the 22nd, at the Voodoo Compound on Bessemer Street in Meadville. Tickets are $13 for students and seniors and $16 for adults. Kind of a first come, first serve for seating. I think we can seat a little over. We had about 145 people last night, which was really good numbers for MCT. I think we can seat anywhere between like 150 and 200.
Nice.
So plenty of chance to come and see it. It's a good time. You can have a couple drinks at the compound beforehand. I think they're doing specialty cocktails too, which is super fun.
I think they
Bloody
said
Mary.
you can bring food. Food is welcome.
I think you
On
can.
the little poster, it said food is encouraged. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can bring the compound's good for that. Like you can bring your own food, and it's pretty cool. And if you want to find me, I mean, I'm not really much on social media anymore. Like I deleted my Twitter account pretty soon after Elon Musk bought the company. I'm like, this is a good. I've been backing away for a while, but I think I'm just gonna cancel it. But I do a podcast with a group of friends down in Meadville called Geeks of Glenwood. You can find us on like Apple, Spotify, pretty much anywhere you get podcasts, and we just do nerdy stuff and talk about it weekly. So that's pretty much where you can find me. I mean,
Nice.
I guess I'm on Facebook, but that's about it.
I guess.
I guess. I have a Tumblr account. Follow me on Tumblr.
Follow my Pinterest.
I don't get Pinterest.
There's some good recipes on Pinterest.
Yeah, and some good ideas for Halloween charcuterie boards.
Yeah.
I do love a good charcuterie board.
Yeah. We spent a good hour on there looking at Halloween
Halloween
themed
things.
Nice.
charcuterie boards. I had to put it down. I was like, I can't stop.
I do
So-
love a good charcuterie board.
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
Anytime I play Dungeons and Dragons with my friends and someone's like, I'll bring a charcuterie board, I'm like, yes, good. It'll be a good session.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us today,
Yeah.
Mitchell.
Yeah, thanks
thanks,
for having
Mitch.
me. This is always a good time.
Our very first repeat guest.
Hopefully not your last. And I hope this isn't my last episode.
We'll have you on again next week.
Wonderful. Just always just like, Mitch isn't doing anything, obviously. Which is fair.
Fair point. Well, I'm not either. So that's why I'm always here. Right. Right, Brenna?
Right.
Brenna does not want me back. Is the vibe I'm getting.
Oh no, I just want to do this alone from now on. I don't want you guys can leave.
Yeah, Brenna doesn't want me back either. It's fine. We love you, Brenna.
Hi, Brenna.
Hi.
All right, Brenna, I'll see you next week.
Why are you all talking to me specifically?
Because you don't want us to be here anymore.
Yeah.
Let's say goodbye to the people.
Bye, the people.
Bye, the people.
Do you hear the people say?